points on the lesson. Live in the hills, but it still get a spread. Started with a live, but it still reinvest it. Fear how I feel, then you feel like a blessing. I just want the lesson, I just want protection. I'm up and I'm down, but the sound like progression. Farmer never plans if he waits for perfection. Finger to the down.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it was the worst day. Today was awful. I love you. I hope you had a wonderful day. It was still exciting. It was earned, but today it was bad. It was the worst day since February 3rd. That was like peak of the war and the rates and everything going on. Worst day for Amazon and Netflix, everything. But let me give you another fun fact to start here. So you know, in 2022, the average drop in the S&P has lasted roughly 2.5 days. This is important. And more than any year since 1974. That means our down days have been longer this year than ever, and now it gets better. While its returns following down sessions have been negative 0.2%. That is also the worst in almost 5 decades. So, what this means, this is the worst dip buying market in years. We are back at the lows. There is a lot that we need to go over. And if you see the title, it is kind of a rumor alert, but a really important update. We got to talk a little bit about energy. So I got a nice breakdown. We're going to go with the quick market recap, see how today was. It was crazy. It's exciting. I'm ready for earnings. I hope you're loving it. There's a lot of big earnings. We're going to touch on that too. Then we're going to touch on Russia and this gas ban and what is actually happening. Then we're going to go over the plays that we made and what we got for tomorrow, baby. So drop your thumbs up on the video. Make sure you're subscribed. And if you don't know, we are live Monday through Friday, youtube.com/thestockmarket. It's right there. I didn't know I could put it there. That's amazing. And we're live on Twitch too, even if it does, if you get any lag or anything. We'll see you on there. But let's start with what happened. Today was wild. NASDAQ closed just shy of 4%, but even the S&P, this is down almost 3%. We are at every one of these key levels, and even moving forward from here, pretty much, I mean, 417 and below, it looks like we're going to test the levels of 410. Anything below 410, that is a new low on the year. Again, we've only closed around these levels a handful of times all year, so keep that in mind. There was an update here after hours with Microsoft, so that may help us tomorrow, but how it all started, it was kind of a continuation of yesterday. There was more issues in China. It's not as if their stocks got clapped, but people are still getting worried about the lockdown. Even after hours, Texas Instruments, their earnings was not good, and they even mentioned what is going on with China, so that is a negative there, and people are going to get worried about that with chips tomorrow, but that's pretty much a little bit of what we got there in the morning. But then you had the earnings from GE. It was not hot at all, and a lot of the things, the narrative of the earnings, people are discussing inflation, raising prices, expecting prices, and essentially one thing that's bad, you'll notice it, like Google, today after hours, they went down. They're down 9% right now. They came up a little bit with Microsoft after hours, but they barely missed on EPS, or at least on the revenue, but it's not as if they missed really, really bad, but the market sold it off. That is still not good, because essentially, even if you did good this quarter, if you don't have good guidance, they're saying, well, wait, why are you worried? But that was part of the narrative. Again, why we started selling off. This was earnings digestion, getting ready for earnings, digesting all the other earnings. The China and bond situation wasn't good, and again, the Fed and all of that, but this was just really a mix of inflation. Tech stocks started going down, and a big thing here with tech stocks, Tesla, they started dropping, so did Twitter. People don't realize this. Just, again, that deal is finalized. People are going to put implications there with Elon. People are digesting it, and that's partly why we saw Tesla go down today. Some people were saying selling. Some people don't know how Elon is going to finance it, so we will see, but that's pretty much all that happened. And then little by little, we started breaking the levels. We closed into the lows, and then earnings. Microsoft after hours, their Azure, it was them raising the guidance on Azure. That just saved them and brought them up, but they're barely up. They sold off today. They were down as much as 6%, 7%. That's what they priced in. But then Google, they pretty much met earnings. Some people say missed. I think they pretty much met it. It wasn't that bad, but they're down 9%. They even announced a $70 billion buyback. GM, they missed. The automakers were down. It was not good. They kind of raised their guidance slightly, but they did miss on this quarter in net sales. And then Texas Instruments and chip makers, it was just not good at all. So that was the main recap of what we got today. And then now this was also affecting the markets today. I think this affected energy, and I think this subtly got priced in. Again, Europe stocks were pretty much clapped today, but now here's what happened. If you don't know the beginning of this story, Russia said they are going to halt these oil shipments unless countries pay in rubles. Those were the demands. You've probably heard about this over the last month and a half, little bit longer there. So something happened today. They cut off Belarus, and I forgot what the other one was. Pretty much Belarus or in another, I don't know if it was Belarus. Hold on. Yeah, I'm tripping. It wasn't Belarus. It was Bulgaria and Poland. But I know, forgive me. But this is important. But essentially, they cut off natural gas to those countries. That is literally an escalation. People are literally saying they are using energy as a weapon now, but we have an update. So again, started with Russia saying this, and now what has happened over the next couple of weeks here, or the past couple of weeks, is now these agreements are coming into place. So let's say you don't want to do it. Here's where the story gets a little bit better. Russia has even created a new mechanism to deposit money into a separate account, and they will do the currency conversion. So technically, you don't have to. They created a new banking mechanism to allow countries to still keep processing it. And then on top of that, they have added an exemption measure. Pretty much, if you apply for an exemption, they will give you it. This is where it gets very important. But now there's the other important part. None of this data is public. These are all agreements between governments, specific gas companies in Europe and in Russia. So none of this is public, and that's why over the next few days, we're going to be getting bits and pieces. But now after they made that movement, one, it puts a lot of the other talks about what they're doing with oil. I mean, it's going to throw some confusion, but long story short here, between now and the end of May, when we start hearing more about which companies and which countries with agreements, if these countries do not be a part of this new mechanism or they do not file for exemption, today is showing the president that Russia is going to cut off gas. So they reached out to Germany. Germany has yet to respond. Again, they are the biggest importer there of the Russian gas. So there's some implications. This is why I made a play on UNG, and we're going to talk about it. But now EWG, and you saw the Europe stocks, our plays came back. Again, it's down 10% from when we made the play. We were talking, it's manipulation, big money, rug pull. It's okay, though. It's fine, because now we're in a good spot. But pretty much if this escalates, it's a gamble. And again, like I'm saying, between now and the end of May now, that's when you're going to just start hearing about whether or not people have made these agreements or not. And then that will dictate a lot. But it's kind of showing this is an escalation in terms of the energy. So I think over the next few days, we'll see with earnings in the Fed. But energy is going to be key. And now Europe, they are going to respond there. So our plays are back to break even. I still like it. But now let's talk about the rest of the plays and even the UNG. So to keep it simple, let's start with the UNG. Again, we were already playing UNG off of this whole idea of, yes, okay, if we are going to need to start exporting, if Europe is going to need natural gas, US will start to export more. Our supplies go down. Price of US natural gas mixed with everything, supply chains, all that, the prices go up. Remember, we hit a UNG June for 500%, and we are still holding this. I still got one. We made a bunch of them free. It was an awesome play. They're still up there, but that was a couple of weeks ago. So that was UNG. So today, I decided to double dip. I started small there before we got news of the second country. So I think in the morning, it was a report of Poland, and it was a rumor, and then it got confirmed, and then I made the play around later in the day then, and then the Bulgarian news got confirmed. So then by the end of the day, I said, okay, I'm going to go with another one. I wanted more of the EWGs, but they were already up. But I decided to go with these two plays. I did a next week. This one's like, what, $26? I grabbed two of them there for like 79 cents. Not too expensive, 150. I wanted to keep it small, but then after we got the second country, I went a little bit bigger, and I went for the May 20th. So this is short term, and like I'm saying now, we have our schedule, and this play does not meet it. This is a big risk. The problem is, I probably went a little too big here. I spent about $1,300. I grabbed, which ones are these? The May 27 calls for 89 cents. I grabbed 15 of them, but my idea is here that over the next few days, if we start hearing from it or what Germany's going to do, it might get things priced in. But remember, I told you last week, there's a reason why I made those UNGs free. I mean, we got to take a lot more profit than where they're at now. So we'll see how it plays out. But this was the first play. Again, I made 2 different plays on this. And now for the rest of the plays and what I did and what I'm going to be looking at today, I did take profits. I had an old AMD put. This thing was up like 290%. I thought I'd sell out of it. Again, Texas, it was, I wish I held it. I really did. I have an old NVIDIA put we made around the same time. It's kind of coming back to life, but I sold out of that one, took a decent amount of profit. And then the Boeings, if you guys remember, I went big after the plane crash there and just getting ready for earnings. I should have got more time, but the play came up. I was up like 10%, ended up closing around like 20% there, but I sold 4 out of 5, said I'll hold one. Boeing reports tomorrow morning, so kind of a gamble, but after watching UPS and some of the volatility today, that one UPS play that I held, I was down on it after they reported, but with some of the volatility, it came back, so I said, all right, we'll see, but I just didn't like the time on this play, trimmed it down there, but not too bad. Again, it was down a lot more. It's like down 70% not too long ago. The volatility is crazy, and kind of like the EWG, stock is lower than when we made the play, but anyways, sold out of that one. Then I forgot the rest of the other ones. I did make a Facebook call. Where are those? I grabbed one of the Facebook 217s for next week, spent $200 on it, but why did I do it? A lot of people were asking, didn't you just say Facebook was going to go down? Yes, remember, I have these old LEAP puts, and they're up around like 50, 60%, and it's about like $9,000 there of value, so it's a nice trade that I'm holding, and it's more to the downside, and then I just figured, hey, I might as well get one to the upside. If Google did good, I figured there'd be some premium effect, so I wanted to grab $200, and I did throw a couple hundred a couple weeks ago. That one's clapped with more time, so thought I'd just get a little bit of the volatility and exposure and play something related to earnings in a sympathy, but there was that play, and then I grabbed 100 shares of Roblox. I just wanted some. I added it to the swing account. Remember, I have 800 shares. I have 900 now, but I'm still down 42% on it, so not too bad, but I figured at these prices, I may start nibbling. Remember when I first made the video regarding this play, my initial idea was to throw in 100K of it. I only grabbed 50K at the moment, so I was like, all right, might as well get there at these prices. I like it even before earnings, so we'll see. Domino's, that one's related to Chipotle, and again, with food costs and everything, and their margins did end up going down, so we'll see, but I got a Domino's June 1 put there for $2.29, so that one's just a sympathy, and we'll see what happens. Nothing deeper than that, but those were the main plays. As far as tomorrow, Facebook is going to be crazy again. I'm very excited with it. I'm going to ride that put. Maybe I'll ghetto spread, try to reduce some of the exposure there, but still holding those. The Fords tomorrow, they have earnings. Again, PayPal, Qualcomm, pins. Qualcomm, that play we had went up, but it's probably going to get clapped tomorrow, but going to watch them. I may double dip there on PayPal, but pretty much all of those earnings, I'm going to go after them. Boeing and Spotify, I think those will be active in the morning, and then potentially a follow-up with Microsoft, but there's earnings left and right. Even though, yeah, Las Vegas Sands, don't forget about that with travel. Even Visa and Google, they both talked about travel. Google said that vacation rental searches are up 37%. So we'll see. Maybe grab more Airbnb. I don't know. But a lot of earnings. That's it. Again, Facebook, PayPal, Qualcomm, Pinterest, Teladoc, Amgen, ServiceNow, Upwork, Align, Hertz, Mattel, LVS, O'Reilly, LC, DFS, Cake, Uri, URI, AWK, Saveform. All of those are tomorrow after hours. And then you get Amazon and Apple the day after that. But that is it. I love you all. Have a wonderful day. And that is your watch list, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure hydrate healthy, ready to go. Make sure post your watch list. Make sure we see you there in the morning. I need the armor on. I need the helmet shine. I need you to remember everything's still the same. Oh yes, it's the same as you. You still the same person, and you learn it. But it's that was the feel. It's a deeper feel. I haven't explained. It kind of sounds weird. But let's go, baby. I'll see you in the morning. I love you. God bless you, and get ready. It's earnings season, and let's go. You better wake up tomorrow. Energy. Amen. I love you.